Josh Newkirk and Sam Webb here, just hours after the big news, Sam. Michigan gets its man for the 2019 class for Michigan basketball. 4-star small forward Jalen Wilson. Michigan's been after him for a while now. This is a first big get for John Beilein's class. And the biggest guy he's gotten here in a few years since Cam Chatton. Why don't you just talk about, break it down for what Michigan is getting here in Wilson?
Well, they're getting a guy, first of all, you got to give credit to Luke Yaklich. Because Yak was the one that got Michigan on Jalen Wilson, had a relationship with his AAU coach, a connection with Jalen dating back to when he was at Illinois State. Gets to Michigan and immediately starts forging that relationship and gets Michigan in play. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes you get fortuitous bounces in recruiting. In this one, Mom was a big Michigan fan growing up, so you had that in your favor. And then, you look at Michigan, they started selling him on the ability to develop, the ability to utilize his versatility. So what are they getting? A kid that's 6'8", about 190 pounds, and a legitimate threat at three positions. He could play the 2, the 3, and the 4. They talked to him about his similarities to DJ Wilson, in that he's a versatile guy in the front court. Now, the difference between the two, both of them have Jalen in their name. Both of them were named after Jalen Rose. Devontae Jalen Wilson was DJ Wilson, and then Jalen Wilson, this kid, both named after Jalen Rose. But DJ Wilson was much more explosive. He's longer, he's more explosive than this kid, but gave you some of the versatility. They also, though, the Michigan coaches compared DJ Wilson to Tim Hardaway, talking about his backcourt ability. The difference between those two is, Tim was maybe a little more of a dead-eye shooter, but what you're getting is a combination player. So Jalen Wilson is a kid at 6'8", 190 pounds, can put it on the floor, can create for others. So, you see a lot of guys that are slashers, they put it on the floor, their heads are down going to the basket. This kid, his head is up going to the basket, he can create for others. He also has range out the three-point land, not quite the dead-eye shooter that Tim Hardaway it was, but you're talking about when Michigan looks at him saying, hey, you can fill that role. If you're looking to develop your shot further, Michigan is the place to go. You're looking to increase your athleticism. Michigan and the Sandman, John Sanderson, is the place to go. So that was a big selling point for this kid, because if you talk about his game, what's the next level for Jalen Wilson? Is it increasing his explosiveness? He's not a uber run jump guy, but we've seen John Sanderson improve guys' vertical jumps, 7, 8, 9 inches. So you add that strength and that explosiveness to this kid's game, and you're talking about down the line, if he develops. There's a lot goes into whether a kid develops, how he deals with the competition, being away from home, all those things. But assuming he develops like Beilein and company have developed other guys, this could be another first-round draft pick for Michigan, and that's not far-fetched. John Beilein, since 2013, they've had 6 first-round draft picks. No other team in the Big Ten can match that number. Only 3 teams nationally. I think it's Duke. Kentucky has the most, and UCLA. Only 3 teams nationally have more first-round picks since 2013 than Michigan. So they know how to develop guys. And when you have a guy that's at this level already, you got to be excited about what the Wolverines have.
You mentioned all the draft picks. How much did that play into being a huge selling point? Because, you've seen the development. You just turn on the TV, you can see Michigan players in the NBA. That's something that you didn't see before John Beilein came here. It was sort of a dead period, and now, like you said, the 6 guys are in the league right now.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. Whether it's a guy that's coming in that already has some acclaim, like Mitch McGary, or several guys that were, in the 100 range. Trey Burke was number 93 in the country. Tim Hardaway was in the hundreds somewhere. He was a 3-star prospect. Nick Stauskas was in the hundreds. And then, a guy like Karis LeVert was like 250 in the country. When you see a coach take highly rated guys, under-the-radar guys, and get them ready for... No coach in the Big Ten can claim the record that John Beilein has when it comes to player development. And now he has the hardware. That's the other thing that you got to take into account. Difference between now and after the 2013 season, and they still had a good recruiting class. You had a couple of top 50 guys, and Zach Irvin and Derek Walton both were top 50. Mark Donnell was a top 100 guy. So they got a good class on the heels of that Mitch McGary class. But the difference between now and then is you had a run to the national championship game. Now after this, you got a couple Big Ten tournament championships. You have a Big Ten regular season title. You have 2 runs to the national championship game. They have the hardware to back it up, along with the player development, the draft record. That's a lot. That's very appealing to the recruits out there. So now you got Jalen Wilson in the fold. And who knows? I mean, these things can have domino effects. Michigan is in great shape with DJ Carton out of Bettendorf, Iowa, a 5-star point guard. Really likes the Wolverines. They're looking to get him in sometime in the next month and a half on his official visit. And, you talk to our guys like Brian Snow, they think Michigan is leading for him. That's an explosive point guard. Michigan's had some good point guards, obviously. Trey Burke, Darius Morris. You can go back. But this kid, as far as the explosiveness he brings to the table coming in the door, they haven't had a point guard with that kind of vertical leaping ability since guys like Ramil Robinson and Demetrius Caleb. Now, we'll have to see. I'm just talking about guys that can rise up and jump over you. He's a rise up and jump over you guy. They haven't had a point guard. They've got good point guards. Player of the year in Trey Burke. So it's not like they haven't had good point guards, but I'm talking about what this kid brings to the table from an explosiveness standpoint is reminiscent of some point guards that they had years and years ago. So we'll see if they can close it out.
Let's go back to Wilson, end on this. What are the expectations? Obviously, when you see a guy, number 29 in the country, I believe he's rated the number 7 overall, small forward, fans are going to expect him to see the floor quickly. Does he have potential to start? Where do you see him, forecast him for his freshman season?
Well, what's so great about him is his positional versatility. He, depending on who else Michigan gets, he could be a 4, he could be a 3, he could even be a 2. So if, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Michigan is able to pick up a Jaden McDaniels. Now, this is pie in the sky. Jaden McDaniels is the number 10 player in the country. He's Juwan Howard's cousin. I mean, this is a kid that is killing it this summer with his versatility. 6'9", can play in the paint, can shoot the 3, can put it on the floor. You get a kid like that, well, the question is, where do you play Jalen Wilson when you have other guys like Ignaz Brazdeikis and Brandon Johns on the floor? Well, this kid can play in the backcourt. He is a legitimate facilitator for others. Even when his game isn't going, he can create for teammates. Again, he can shoot it. 3-point shot is coming along. It's good, but it could be better. And then, as I said before, his explosiveness is going to get better. So he can handle it. He can shoot it. Really, really skilled. Right now, I think he's probably going to be on the wing. But depending on who else they get, he can be a guy that can play in the backcourt as well. Just a really, really good chess piece. You ask me what will his role be? John Beilein wants him to be what he calls the wolf. A guy that you give the ball to, he can hunt shots or he can create for others. The offense can run through him. That's what you get in Jalen Wilson.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Michigan's got its wolf in its 2019 class. Now we'll see if they can get more to join the pack.